What's going on, guys? It's your boy SailorturntGamer, and we are back in the building. It's been a while, but we are here with more Dauntless content, and we're going to be talking about today a new game called Greedfall. Yes, Greedfall is a new action RPG game coming out that kind of reminds me a little bit of Dragon Age Inquisition, but it's set in like a colonial style kind of thing. There's different ways to play, and it looks like it's going to be super fun. Greedfall will be coming out September 10th, so that's about 29 to 30 days from now, so it's pretty soon. I'm thinking this is going to be one of the sleeper games of this year, and so I'm really excited to talk about the game. We got a trailer that came out a couple days ago, and I'm going to be breaking that down throughout the conversation. Also, we have 10 minutes of footage. Now, the footage does belong to IGN, and I will leave that down below, a direct link to that footage, but I'll also be using the footage from IGN to be able to show you guys some of the gameplay while we're breaking down the trailer that was put in there. I wanted you guys to know about that, so if you want to see that directly from IGN, just check the description box below, and I'll have a link directly to that particular piece of gameplay, so you can check that part out. If you guys are enjoying the video at any particular time, be sure to join the fleet. All you have to do is hit that sub button right below, and you'll be a part of this fantastic fleet. And with that being said, we are going to dive into Greedfall. So if you guys are ready for that, be sure to stand by. Alright guys, so let's start off. When we get into the gameplay, we're going to be able to see that we have indeed character customization. Yes, this is amazing to see character customization that lets us know that you're going to be able to create pretty much you or whatever you want to be. There's a lot of options that we have. You got hair options, facial options, eyebrow options, of course skin color, hair color, and eye color. So I expect there to be a lot more than that as well. As you take a look at the characters, you're going to see those marks on their faces, so that's letting me know that that could have something to do with the story. So that's just a little bit of a teaser possibly. Now, as we take a look at the next process after this, you'll see that we have a skills section as soon as you finish creating your character. And there's a couple of classes that exist within the game. We have the warrior class, technical class, and magical class. So that's pretty much going to determine your playstyle. And if you go with the warrior playstyle, let's take a look at this class. You're going to have the starting skills of the one-handed heavy weapons. You're going to be able to have one-handed blades and firearms as well. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a guide for each one of the classes, kind of giving you recommended attributes to help you develop your character in a good way. So that's kind of nice to see, as well as recommended talents, right? So if you're playing the warrior class, you're going to be specializing in strength and endurance, and your recommended talents are going to be craftsmanship and vigor. So I expect there to be at least 6 talents in the game, 2 for each class, and I expect there to be at least possibly 6 attributes as well. So you can probably create a character that's spread amongst the bunch, or you can specialize in a particular class. That's a little peek at the warrior class. Also, they have the technical class as well. The technical class, right? This is going to allow you to control the battlefield. How are you going to do that? The technical class, if we take a look at it, you're going to start off with being able to set elemental traps, have a little bit of abilities in firearms, and one-handed blades. That's going to be your way of battle. The recommended attributes is going to be accuracy and agility, and your recommended talent is going to be science and lockpicking. Right, so the lockpicking is definitely going to come into play, because I'm sure there are going to be scenarios where fighting isn't always the best thing to do. Sometimes you got to pick a lock. Let's move on and talk about the magic class. Now, the magic class, this is going to allow you to focus on the use of offensive spells from a distance, and the starting skills that exist within this is a divine magic ring. I'm guessing this is where most of your magic powers are going to come from, and they'll probably be explained throughout the story, as well as the stasis ability and use of one-handed heavy weapons. Your recommended attributes is going to be mental power and willpower, and your recommended talent is going to be science and intuition. So this is going to be one of those great, hopefully not glass cannon, but that's typically how the magic playstyle is. But it's going to be great at controlling a lot of enemies due to that stasis ability. I'm betting that's going to be allow you to do some awesome things as well. We also know that they do have a tactical screen that exists within the game, which is going to allow you to pause the game in combat. So take that time to survey the battlefield in order to properly take out the enemies and prevent yourself from being overwhelmed. If any of you guys again have played Dragon Age Inquisition, the system is a lot similar to that. So if that's something that you enjoyed, you are in for a surprise. Now the attribute list that we were talking about is regarding the skills and attributes. Now each one of these attributes trees are going to be pretty lengthy, which means there's going to be tons of upgrades that you can do to your character throughout playing the game. So that is pretty awesome in itself. Some of the examples of the attributes that exist is, for example, this agility screen, right? If we take a look at this agility screen, you're going to see that you can increase fury generation and all damage inflicted in melee combat. The attribute that's required to wield is best one-handed or two-handed swords, and you see the physical damage and fury generation boost. That is an example of something that we can expect to see in the game, and that's kind of pretty dope. As you see, it's definitely tailored towards that warrior playstyle. So, you know, if you want to play like a straight-up warrior, you got a lot of things to help you out. All of that stuff is going to be illustrated through the character and attribute screens, which is going to be awesome. We have a huge stat opportunity as well. This huge stat chart here is going to show you all of your skills, your melee skills, your shot skills, defense, and the general things like your health, healing, loot chance, and magic regen. Now that is something that you're really going to have to hold down to hard if you are playing that magical class. But as we take a look at this character stat screen, you're going to see a lot of actually pretty cool things. You're going to see a relationship level, and as we see, there's a couple of relationship emotions that will be displayed on that screen. You see you got a lot of suspicious characters. You have the ability to make your relationships nice or friendly, so that is pretty unique and cool in itself. As we see, the relationships are kind of split up, so if we take another deep dive in that, you see you have some character names like Vasco, Kurt, Afra, and Petrus, but then we also have these relationships with a variety of actual groups, right? We have the Congregation of Merchants, Bridge Alliances, you have Coin Guards, Natives, a lot of characters like that, so I'm sure it's going to be very important to maintain those relationships and try to make those relationships friendly, if not just nice. So that's kind of pretty cool, as we see that that's going to be something that's going to play a significant role in the game, so that's pretty awesome in itself. I expect for us to be able to get a lot of levels when you're actually going through this game, since it is a typical RPG. It should be pretty fun, and of course stats are the king of the hill over here, right? So you have your small rifle as that example that you see over there with some of the physical damage, stun, armor damage, and fury generation. Now this stuff is going to be incredibly important, and I think if you take the time to select your character class and try to build towards that particular style of play, you guys should be in no worry at all. Now there are so many ways to play this game. The combat styles are going to be pretty fun to actually go through, between trying out different ways to play and determining which way fits you. As you see, you have your one-handed, your two-handed, you have your stasis abilities, you have using your elemental traps. I mean, it's pretty amazing. Now you will have access to a party of 3 from the different people that you meet on the island and from the different relationships that you begin to form. Of course, we saw Petrus earlier in that character stat screen, and this is giving us an opportunity to see that Petrus himself has his own attributes and skills that he is very, very good at. And of course, building that relationship with these characters is what's going to be able to set the difference between taking them out and having them be effective and making you an enemy. There are also going to be relationships in the game. So yes, if you are a ladies man or a ladies woman, you want to be able to build those relationships up to potential levels of possible lovemaking. So hey, if you are involved in this, you can really get involved in it, so that's pretty cool in itself. But these relationships can go into great depths. I mean, they talked about in the trailer how if you can ignore someone's need for quite some time, those characters can actually begin to get a little needy, and you can actually begin to like ruin those relationships with those particular characters. I mean, who knows where that may go. It could lead into a fight. It could lead into leaving your group. So you really want to keep an eye out on maintaining those relationships. Also, I saw that in the trailer you are going to be able to change the actual armor of your companion, so that it's going to just allow them to be going to places that they couldn't normally go throughout the game. So the relationships in this game, I expect them to play a significant role in developing not only your character but themselves as well. So that is going to be pretty cool as well. Greedfall is a game where you are, well, the star of the show, but your goal is to explore this island to find a way to fix your home, come home, and make it a better place. As you go through, there's many ways to do that, and I expect to talk a lot more about Greedfall as time continues to go on. Again, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to give it a like and a share, and join the fleet by hitting that sub button. Until then, this Sailor be out in the open ocean. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.